So, chapter 5, number 13, you should have already done 12, and in 12, you end up with these two formulas as the result. Um, so, in 13, what we're doing is notice these are the sum formulas alpha plus beta, sine of alpha plus beta. So, what we want to develop is a rule for cosine of alpha minus beta and sine of alpha minus beta. So the way to get those two things is really instead of writing beta here, I'm going to replace them all with negative beta and see what happens. So that means anywhere that beta appears, this becomes negative beta, these become negative beta here also. So let's do that. So I'm going to get cosine of alpha plus a negative beta, which is just going to become cosine of negative beta. I'm going to get cos alpha, cos negative beta. Put those in parentheses, minus sine alpha, sine negative beta. Now, if I simplify this, I get what I wanted in the first place. And now if I look at this, cosine alpha I can't do anything with, but cosine negative beta, that's really the same thing as regular just cosine beta. Because remember, cosine is even, and so cos of x is the same thing as cos of negative x, which you can also get if you just think about the graph a little bit. Okay, so then I've got the minus sign. I got sine alpha, and then sine of negative beta is the same thing as negative sine of regular beta, because remember, sine is an odd function, so that means sine of negative x is the same as negative sine of regular x. Okay, so if I simplify this just a little bit, I get cos alpha, cos beta, plus sine alpha, sine beta. So then we're done with that. That's about as far as you can go with that. If I use the sine one, I've got sine alpha, and instead of plus beta, I'm going to say plus negative beta. And that's going to equal sine of alpha. And then instead of cosine beta, it's cosine negative beta now, plus cos alpha, and then instead of sine beta, it's sine negative beta. And now I'll just use the odd and even properties again. So this one simplifies, so it just becomes sine alpha minus beta. And then I'm going to get sine alpha, cosine of negative beta, since this is an odd function, sorry, even function, this becomes just cosine beta. And then this becomes negative sine beta. And I'm going to move the negative to here, so that becomes a minus sign instead. So we get sine alpha cos beta minus cos alpha sine beta. Okay, hope that helps. So these two formulas are actually pretty common formulas. So what you often see textbooks do is they'll kind of condense them. So just like there's so here's the cosine rule, right? This is the addition one. And if instead I had a minus sign, then this minus sign in the middle turns into a plus sign. So oftentimes you'll see textbooks condense them like that. The sine one, which I'll just do up here, if you have a minus sign here, then this one's also a minus sign, so you'll see those all written as one big formula. Okay,